Talk to me about weaponizing the brand, which we had talked in our pre-interview about. One of the areas where marketing can fail is weaponizing the brand. So help me understand that.
Weaponizing the brand. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you're looking for there? I feel like
Apparently, I can't. I think we were talking about was over-indexing on brand marketing, and I feel like we've probably covered that a little bit. I think the next one we were talking about is the over-automation, and so
oh, okay, yeah. Over automation is one where as especially I was telling you earlier, technical marketing, we can make so many things. Because of the capabilities and possibilities of technology, sometimes we get it. Marketing can have a hard time recognizing like when to pump the brakes, right?
Mhm.
Because and that's why we're talking about automating processes or automating communications. We want to know exactly how that fits into a sales cycle. Because if a salesperson moves somebody down the pipeline and then all of a sudden they get a message from marketing and the salesperson has no clue that this is happening and they want to be controlling this entire conversation, and then they get an email forwarded to them from the prospect going, hey, what is this? And they're like, what the heck? Like, this is not what I just talked to these people about. And that's a massive problem. And so automation is one of those things that marketers love because we do understand that we can really, nurture certain prospects. You talked earlier about those prospects that maybe aren't as warm of leads, and we're gonna have to like spend 6 months like kind of hounding them. And we're like, oh, we can nurture them with automation and this and this. And so that's where automation feels really good. But when you're working on a really big deal and you want to control every bit of communication, and the marketers are telling you, oh, no, once you do this action, it's going to send this communication. We've definitely seen some salespeople who don't necessarily love that, and definitely made some mistakes in figuring out how to get the right balance of being able to use these tools, but not overusing to the point where we're hurting the salespeople's ability to close the deal. Because at the end of the day, I do think marketing is trying to be sales team's best friend, and that's not what you do to your best friend right there.
I might just for fun.
All right.
But yeah, I hear that. I think you're 100% right. There's a time and a place for automation. I think even salespeople, sales development folks can be guilty of this. You're trying to build. I think one of the areas where it's easy to over rotate in when you get into sales development is a similar level of like you're over rotating on automating or building complex workflows in the tools where the salespeople are losing control of the deal. And like the most extreme example I have of this is a system I built for myself. It was based in, I think it was Sugar CRM. And it was before I started PR, and I hosted my own Sugar CRM box, and I built this like amazing playbook. It was the best playbook until I missed a week. And then all of a sudden I had 400 tasks that I had to do that were now out of date. And there was no good way to go back in and like nuke those tasks and so I was constantly behind. And then I was out of office for a day, and then I got really busy closing deals, and then I had to travel for work. And suddenly I was like 4,000 tasks behind, and I had all of this automation going of like, do this, automate that, email this. And it was all out of whack. I ended up I had to delete the whole thing. Like I kept the database of like the contacts, but all of the automations, I had built this beautiful mind system where I was on the chalkboard and go, and the whole thing ended up just in the garbage because it didn't leave me enough freedom and flexibility to actually, use my, instincts to say, okay, this is what we got to do next. And I think that's both on the sales side and on the marketing side, a really easy opportunity to get into trouble where you're automating too much.
Yeah, and the lens I try and look at it through is I always joke with my team, like, think about like a great salesperson. What do they really like doing? They like problem solving. They like listening and hearing exactly what the pain point is, and then being able to create that solution in their head and present it in a really great way that persuades the customer to take the action that they want to take, and they want to close that deal, and they want that satisfaction of that win, right? They don't want to go put notes in a CRM. Like, they don't that part of it. Like, and so where can we take the things that they do like and then automate the things that they don't, right? If they can move something to closed one, which is a good feeling, that's like ringing the bell, right? Move it over to closed one. And then when they do that, it automates a services agreement going out to that customer. The customer signs that services agreement, and then it automatically takes them to the onboarding part of the process. And then they get some sort of welcome packet for being part of the product or service. Salespeople like that kind of automation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to touch anything. That's awesome, right? That's the good stuff. It's when you get in the way of their deal and you get and you start interrupting some of the communication that they're having, and you take away the control. To your point, that's when things can get murky. So I think if you just think about how do you make that person's life better, generally there's a great way to balance the tools and the automation.